grownfolksmusic.com.
What's happening, beautiful people? This is Major, and we're hanging out with grownfolksmusic.com.
Major, welcome back. Well, the Hope Dealer has done it again. Tell us about this. Tell us about this new joint, Doves Cry.
Listen, I'm super excited about Doves Cry because it includes every essence of who I am as a man, as a Black man, as an artist. I have been able to encapsulate all of that in one song, and it feels really good. I know it may come as a slight surprise to some folks, being more of a bop, but the message is clear through and through. And for those that don't really know what the message is, because all they're hearing is, I've seen doves cry, I just hope that they feel the hope. If they listen a second time around or a third time around, they can really get what I'm trying to convey. And that's that hope ain't canceled, laced with that message of hope is my signature falsetto. So, I had to drop that, this is why I love it, magic on it, so we're in there.
At the beginning of the video, if anybody watches the actual visuals, at the beginning of the video, there is a message and it says, hope is not the denial of reality. Hope is the commitment to the belief greater is on the other side of it. Talk about that. Now that's that's a word.
Did it help you though?
Did
it help?
Me. Yes, it did.
Yeah, because oftentimes what happens is people think that this faith and this hope and this belief thing is supposed to be this made up land in real time. You're supposed to create something that is not authentic to what's before you. And at the end of the day, it's the simultaneous reality of such. It's understanding that trouble never lasts always. Heartache never lasts always. That's why most people are like, oh, I remember that time I went through this. And the operative word is through. You went through it. You got through it. If you're saying you're going through something, you're not stuck. So you're getting through it, and so that's the conversation I want to have with people, that hope is not just some fluffy word. It's your great defender in the midst of a tough reality, not letting that tough reality control your everything so that your future steps can agree with the promise that greater is on the other side of it. You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
Fear will have jeopardizing a lot of beautiful things to come because we're so caught up in what is uncertain in our moment. Yeah.
My pastor once said that the reason why the good old days were the good old days is because we know what happened.
Come on. There it is. That's wisdom speaking. Who's your pastor?
He's young too. His name is Jason Boland. Just like the stylish Jason Boland.
Wow, yeah.
His name is Jason Boland.
Wow.
And he said the reason why the good old days are the good old days is because we already know what happened. Like you said, we went through it. And instead of looking forward and when we keep moving through it.
Yeah, or instead of clinging to the credit history of great destiny, when served with your best, destiny will always bring you along into victory. It will always deliver a victory for you. Yeah.
He also said, not to belabor the point, I just try to remember the things he said. He also said one time, I don't remember what exactly he was talking about, but he said, you know what, you guys have a gold card. The guy wants to give you like a platinum card. Like you wanna hang on to what you have because you know that. Yeah. And so you're scared to let go and go forward and see
so
some
hard.
days ahead.
It's so hard to let go. It's so hard to release the things that are stopping us from being able to receive the better. It's so difficult, but it is a must. There is nothing in this world, outside of the love of our Creator that will last us beyond the next moment. So let some of these things go. Yeah.
Amen. Well, 2020 hasn't been so bad.
No,
I's married now.
I's married now. Yeah. 2020 has not been completely bad to me. There's a lot of, misfortunes and unfortunate circumstances that have erupted, with a lot of losses of dear friends and family members and beloved figures in history that we have come to really appreciate. Congressman John Lewis and my brother Chadwick. But I tell you, love stood strong and got us into marital bliss. I am newly married, almost 3 months in. I'm super excited about that. A beautiful, beautiful soul. We are working together to undo the things that don't better serve our future, but to work towards building and becoming that one. And it's a great work. It's not hard work, it's hard work, as my buddy Eric Payton said. So I'm leaning into that and rocking with it. So we're good.
Good. Glad to hear it. I read an article, the article you spoke on for people about your wedding. You mentioned 3 mentors that you have, and I'd like you to talk about each of the mentors. The 3 of them that you mentioned, I'm sure you have several, but the 3 that you mentioned were Brandy, Miss Patti LaBelle, and Mr. Stevie Wonder. So mention
some musical mentors. Yes, absolutely.
Mention the influence of each of those.
Well, yeah. So I mentioned them when they were they were asking, what was my curation, my musical curation for the wedding. And thankfully, my wife, who loves music, trusted my musical palette, for what I brought in. But I wanted to have a few surprises. COVID kind of intervened on having some of those, celebrity appearances that I was looking forward to trying to make happen. And, 2 legends still showed up strong for me by sending in audio of them encouraging the both of us to remain focused and centered on the love that brought us together, because that's the love that's going to keep us forever. And that's, Stevie Wonder, Mr. Stevie Wonder himself, and Queen Patti LaBelle. The both of them christened Why I Love You and Honest and Better With You in It. So it was only right to have them share some words. And it was so cool because I would look at Michelle's face as each time a new person would play on the speaker, and she's like, and and I'm just like, yeah, that's for you. And they said your name. And I honor the legends so much so because they've done it. They know what it means to sacrifice, to go all in, to try to work to stay true to you while convincing others that you belong, where you are in the rooms that you've been invited to. And so I've taken so many notes from what we know of them and what they've shared personally in a lot of their stories. And then my sister Brandy, shout out to her and her new album B7. I'm super
B7.
Super proud of her with that. But we built an even closer relationship as brother and sister on. She was my auntie in cast on Star, the TV show Star. And we became really close and just really connected, soul to soul, heart to heart. And she, after, I think you remember when she jumped on the remix of my song Even More, that we dedicated to cancer survivorship. And yeah, it was just amazing when I hit her up, because at the last, I had one more idea. I was like, this will be excellent. And I think it was a night, the day before the wedding. I said, hey, could you record something that will literally set the tone from pre-wedding to the wedding, so that we can get that transition? because I just feel like it'll be magic, because I'm gonna be walking down to Either More featuring Brandy. Walk in on my verse, which is just me, and then the bridal party walked in on when we both were singing. So it was like this, you know, guy girl coming in, and it was magic. Brandy couldn't have done it any better. It was special.
Let's back up a little bit. You were saying that both Miss Patti LaBelle and Stevie Wonder christened "Why I Love You." Tell us what I know what you mean by that, but tell me what you mean by that. Because so often, especially as a new artist, we sing the songs that we love. We are new artists are covering songs. And so what does it mean to have a legend, have your song come out of his or her mouth?
Listen, I Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the Patti LaBelle version, was the song that I used to sing for the talent shows as a kid. That got me scholarships and different, you know, prizes that really, really let me know that this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Blame It on the Sun and Isn't She Lovely were the first two demos that I recorded when I, you know, wanted to go solo as an artist as a kid. And so having the legends behind those songs and the songs that have inspired me, from Ribbon in the Sky, you know, to As, and all these different tunes, it was amazing. I remember when Stevie Wonder reached out to me, and I remember missing his call, and because of course I didn't have Stevie Wonder saved in my
right.
And this was before I was making money. So, you know, we think we're dodging the bill collectors, and so he leaves a message and says, "This is Stevie Wonder. I am calling to speak with you, Major. I love your song, Why I Love You, and I would love to talk to you more about it. And I would also like to invite you to be a part of a concert that I am having at the end of this year for my House Full of Toys. It will be Lionel Richie. It will be John Legend, Jennifer Hudson, and you, if you're interested. I hope I'm not bothering you." And I'm like, man, you don't cut the crap. And so I called him so quick, and he was out to dinner eating, and he talking to me while he's out eating. I'm like trying to make sure his guests know I'm not trying to hold him. And he's like, no, I'm talking to you. And he's one that when he's speaking to you, he's giving you your time. And so that was incredible. And, you know, of course he said, "I believe this will be the wedding love song for years to come." And it has certainly been that. I swear,
has been
a connection with the treasure tank in heaven, because it definitely happened. And I remember I was on my way to church, and Queen Patti LaBelle, you know, my publicist at the time hit me, and she says, "Patti LaBelle wants to talk to you." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, "Okay." And sure enough, Patti LaBelle said, "Is this Major? Is this Major? Hey, Major, listen, let me tell you something. That song, did you write that? Did you write that?" I'm like, "Yes, ma'am." And she's like, "I use it because my voice been acting funny. I use it to warm up." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, at this time, you know, I'm trying to do a selfie video.
So people believe you.
And sure enough, she was just like, "Listen," she says, "I'm gonna tell everybody about this song. I heard it on Heart and Soul." And it just, just so amazing to get that blessing. And then, you know, when Honest came out, she calls me about Honest, and I end up going, you know, to New York, and we're backstage at the Harry Connick Jr. show, and she's singing it loud and proud. And then she's like, "When you get to Philadelphia, you got to come by." And I had Better With You In It. Both her and Stevie both giving me their rendition of Better With You In It. I'm like, this is crazy. Being an independent artist at that, you know, I don't have, you know, the luxury of this big, massive machine that kind of curates, these moments, by way of them saying, okay, so we're going to take you somewhere where you're going to meet a legend, and a legend is going to endorse you. Like, this was all God, and so it's still surreal. I'm not used to it. I don't get used to it. Me and Stevie, we do FaceTimes, as crazy and as weird as that sounds. That's how much he trusts me. Like, it's just like, I'm like, am I talking to this blind man on FaceTime? But he's got a heart of gold, and it's amazing. It's just, he wants me to know that he's here with me. He's not wasting the time. And Queen Patty, she can cook like nobody's business.
You mentioned Star earlier in the conversation, and Star's not in production anymore, but just talk about, because I didn't see a lot of Star, but I did see a little clip of you acting, and you really got to sink your teeth in to that role. Like, it wasn't fluff. You had to come on and bring that acting, and you did that, Major. So let's talk about, had you ever acted before, and what's to come?
You got me blushing. I'm trying to like a straight face. Like,
you came out with it. You gave it to us.
Listen, I am humbled by that. I am grateful for that. I am relieved that everyone that sees my work, particularly on Star, is so impressed. And it was a great opportunity, because I was like, I finally get to do more acting versus just be the singer on a show. I had done Legend with Tom Hardy, where I was the singer in the nightclub, and I was a singer in the nightclub for a show called Masters of Sex, and I was and that's not a porno. It was literally.
No, I know.
Okay.
Wasn't it on cable? No, I know.
They're like, Major starring in Masters.
No, it wasn't about the authors of that book. Am I correct? Okay.
Yes, indeed. These psychologists that talked about the evolution of sex, male and female, and the curiosities and whatnot. So it was actually a brilliant project. But they invited me as a singer, and I had done a few things here and there, but I've studied theater as long as I've studied music. So acting has been something that I've been developing for quite some time. It was just everybody, I guess, because I'm so strong at what I do as a vocalist, that people have a difficult time seeing you do both unless you started with musical theater to make that statement, So it was an amazing opportunity. I remember one of the folks saying, yeah, they're interested in you, but they just need to know, can you act? And I'm like, can I act? Can I act? And so, yeah, I was able to deliver. Super great time. Super, super great time.
What's next in that realm? Oh, you can't tell. Okay.
Something.
Okay.
Listen, it's going to be great. Pay attention to the style. It's so crazy that this has been my style.
I was going to mention the beanie kind of rolled.
Listen, just get closer. Just let your mind wander in the period of what you see. And you may get just that. It's something very special that I've just been casted in. The announcement comes very soon. You will be very proud. Yeah, and I definitely will appreciate all the respect as an artist, as an actor, that I'll receive as a result after. I'm stretching it a bit, but
Go ahead and speak it out there.
It's some really good stuff, because the guest star on Star got me my first theatrical nomination for a national award. I was nominated for Image Award for guest star role up against David Allen Greer, Sanaa Lathan, Blair Underwood, Kelly Rowland for her role as Gladys Knight in American Soul on BET. So I was in good company. So it was definitely an honor.
I'll give the people a hint, and I have no insider information, you guys. Just going by the styling that's going on here on the other side of my screen, I'll give the people a hint. It probably has something to do with my hometown, Detroit. And I'll just leave it like that.
That is so funny. And the thing is, you're so close and you're so far at the same time. Yo, this is gonna be good. Keep going. Keep going. You're close and you're close, and I think you're a little far.
Okay. Well,
but this is gonna be good.
2021, or we have production scheduled, or
I believe. Is it gonna be 2020? You know, everything's so crazy. So if anything, it'll be the end of this year, or it'll be top of next year. But it's gonna be good. It's a lot of great anticipation and some super dope players involved. Yeah.
So with that said, is Doves Cry just a single we're doing right now, or do we have a project? Oh, okay.
We got a whole project, and it's themed around the conversation of hope and love in the midst of heavy times. And it's gonna be really good. Breaking through the clouds with sunshine. It's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. It's some stuff that was written, stuff that's gonna be lullabies for people, stuff that will play in the morning, will play at night, in the middle of the day. Mark my words, grown folks will enjoy this music. Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Excellent. Major, shout it out before you leave. And what that means is that tell us all things Major. For those who don't know you, you're a friend to us. Yeah. But anybody who just checking you out and maybe just now hearing Doves Cry, I don't know where they've been if they haven't heard Why I Love You in some form.
Right.
Just tell us where we can find you, your social media platforms, anything you have coming up. I would say where you're performing, but maybe not unless you have a virtual show coming. That would be great if you had a virtual. And if you brought some of your friends to the virtual. See, I'm putting this out here.
You are putting it out
there. If you did a virtual show and you brought some of your friends, like Miss Norwood, like Mr. Wonder, and if you brought Tank, because I know you guys did a collab on the last album. Yeah, if you bring Tank,
featuring me and Luke on Tank's album, that was great.
And I asked Tank, I said, is that going to be like a really big falsetto fest? And he said, no, it didn't get too crazy. I said, because between you, Major, and Luke James, I know the studio was crazy with falsetto. Yeah. So if you bring Tank, and if you could bring, you know, my favorite British young artist that I love, if you can bring Nathan with you.
I got it.
Bring them all.
That's who I want to do something with very soon. That's my brother, and our voices match so well. So.
The baritone matches so well.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens there. But I'll go ahead and shout it out. Listen, beautiful people, I don't take any of your love for granted. I appreciate every ounce of it, to the new and the familiar. My name is Major. All capital letters with a period is when you'll see it. Now that's Major everywhere social. NOWTHATSMAJOR. Remember to lock in with me. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you dig. I got a new song called Doves Cry. I've seen doves cry. Listen, I want you to stay for the ride because it only gets better from here. Thank you so much for your time. This is Major, rocking with Grown Folks Music.
Y'all know what it is. Major, Grown Folks Music. com. We love when you come by. Thank you so much, King, for always showing your support. Much love to you and your new bride. And
Yes.
I'm wishing you the best of everything for the rest of the year and for the coming year. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
grownfolksmusic.com